Hello and welcome to this live stream for Paramount IELTS. My name is Luke and I am a former IELTS examiner. Today we're going to have some students answering some questions on speaking part 1, and we will be giving them some feedback and see how they do. So we've got 3 part 1 topics today. One of them is a little bit unusual. Usually the speaking part 1s are things that you may be familiar with or that you may talk about when you first meet a person. One of our topics today is a little bit unusual, so let's see how they cope with that. We should have 3 speakers joining us. Amina is coming from Pakistan, Tanshul Pan, who I believe is currently living in Malaysia, and Christine is joining us, and she is in Canada at the moment. So let's get started. I will introduce some of the topics and then we will have our first speaker. Okay, so welcome to the live stream. My name is Luke. I'm a former IELTS examiner and our school is called Paramount IELTS. If you look down at the bottom of the slide there, you can see our web link and also our Facebook page link. So after the stream, be sure to check those out. So in today's session, we have real IELTS test takers on the stream. There are 3 of them, all have different levels and backgrounds. So we should see a nice range of language today. We're going to do a speaking part 1 for each speaker. And in the speaking part 1, there are 3 topics. And then we are going to give them some feedback on their speaking as well. So hopefully, if they make some of the same mistakes as you, you will find that quite useful and also very useful for the speakers who are joining us. So part 1 of your speaking test lasts 4 to 5 minutes. Remember to develop your answers. If you're not giving long enough answers, the examiner wants to get within that time frame. If you're speaking for a bit too long and the examiner is worried they are not going to finish the frame or get to the 3rd topic, they will stop you and interrupt you. If they do that, it's not a massive problem, but it can make you a bit more nervous. And in your speaking test, you are probably already quite nervous enough. So let's have a look at our topics for today. Topic 1 is going to be about your home, where you live. Part 1, the first topic is always about your home or where you live or your work or study. Topic 2 is about gifts, and topic 3, our slightly unusual one there, is about fishing. So let's see how our speakers do with that. The difference today between our session and a real IELTS test, our students will be able to see the questions on the stream, whereas in a real test, you would not be able to see the questions in part 1. So let's have our first speaker, Amina. Hi, Amina. Hi, Amina. Can you just unmute yourself and say hello to everyone? Oh, hi, Amina. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, and where are you coming from today, Amina?
I live in Rawalpindi. It's a big city of Pakistan.
And what do you do in Rawalpindi? What do you do there?
I am studying. Actually, I am a student of BS English Literature.
Wow, so you love it. You love reading English. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I love it. And I think literature is a quite interesting subject, and there is a beautiful genres and fictions of literature, and we enjoy it a lot.
Okay, brilliant. Well, let's so presumably your reading must be quite good. Let's do some speaking. So, Amina, let's talk about where you are living. What kind of home do you live in at the moment?
Actually, I live in my own house. It's situated in a big city, so it is a very beautiful home. There are three rooms and kitchens and balcony,
Hmm.
and I have
Okay,
a
okay,
beautiful.
okay, okay. What do you like about your local neighborhood?
About my neighborhood.
Hmm.
Mm, my neighbors are so nice and kind to us. Um, uh, they are so I mean th- they are so
Uh,
educated. Educated.
okay. Is there anything you dislike about the neighborhood?
Yes. When we are studying, the neighbor's child make a noise, so I don't like it.
Hmm. Do you think you will move in the future?
Sorry, I can't hear you
Do you
properly.
think you will move in the future?
Move in a future.
Hmm.
Mm, I would like to go abroad, UK, for my further studies.
Okay. Um, so let's move on now and talk about gifts. On what occasions do people give gifts in your culture?
Yes, giving gift is very common in our culture. People mostly give gifts each other on special occasions like birthday, weddings, and on our religious festivals like Eid. So they exchange gifts with each other.
What are the most common gifts to give others in your country?
Mostly males give each other watches and that type of shirts, etc. But women exchange clothes, makeup, jewelry, that type of things.
Hmm. Do you think gifts have to be expensive?
No, I don't think so. It cost doesn't matter. If someone gives you a gift, that means they appreciate you. So the cost really doesn't matter.
Hmm. Have you ever made a gift by hand?
Yes, I used to make gift by my hand for my friends. Like I made I made a jewelry, which I learned from a YouTube some craft. So I made it from my hand and I gifted to my friend.
Now let's talk about fishing. Is fishing a popular hobby in your country?
Yes, it is very popular. People love to do fishing, and I remember when I was a child, my father used to do it a lot, and I was with him.
Mhm. Did you ever go fishing when you were a child?
Yes, I did. Once, as my home is located near a lake, so I used to go very often there for fishing with my dad.
Mhm. Are there any popular places to fish where you live?
Yes, there is a Raval Dam which is very popular for fishing, and it's a very huge dam. There, it is very popular, and mostly people go there for fishing, and it is very beautiful and fascinating place.
What kind of fish do you like to eat?
Mm, there are so many types of fish. I don't know much about them, but I love to eat raw fish. Its taste is very delicious and inexplicable.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. So, just over 4 minutes there. So, really good timing. So, well done, Amina. How do you feel?
I am feeling very nervous, but as well as I am very excited that it's my first time experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think you did brilliant there, Amina. What do you think is what do you think is good about your speaking?
My I don't think so. I think I can speak fluently,
Hmm.
but sometimes I just feel nervous and I can't speak more like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I would say about your speaking, the fluency isn't bad actually. It's quite good. Although you do have points where you can stop for quite a while. So for example, when you were talking about the neighbors and why you liked them, you stopped for quite a while you're trying to find that word educated to describe your neighbors. So there was quite a long pause there, but you are showing a willingness to speak and you do keep going. So that's really good. There are a couple of slips with grammar. They don't affect meaning. For example, you said, I used to make by my hand a jewelry. A jewelry? Be really careful. Jewelry, uncountable there. So either a piece of jewelry or pieces of jewelry. We don't say jewelries and we don't say a jewelry. Okay. So just be a bit careful with that. Also, we don't say by my hand. We just say by hand. Okay. A couple of other things. So grammar is generally quite good. I would say the biggest thing that you have to work on, Amina, is your pronunciation. Your pronunciation isn't bad. You can be understood. What you're not doing, you're not linking the sounds together. So when we're speaking, we want lots of nice linking sounds. When you listen to me speaking, it's almost like one long word. Yeah. Then there's a pause. Then I say something else. If you listen, all of those sounds are linked together. So just focus on that, and that is part of something else called chunking. Chunking is where you pause in the right places. All the words in a chunk should be linked. So well done, Amina. Really good. And with regard to Lexis, there's some nice variety there, and your vocabulary is clearly good enough to do these topics. It could be some things that are a bit high, could try and include something a bit higher level. But it's sufficient for the topic. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
All right, my pleasure, Amina. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you with us. Okay, fantastic. Well done, Amina. And I will just remove you from the stream. Okay, Facebook user. I'm not sure who that is asking if they can join. It is full for today, but we will be having another live stream on Friday. So just comment in the group on that post where I've written, requesting volunteers, and you are free to join. And I will try and get a few more people in for next time. Today, we're trying to have a shorter session. Okay, so fantastic. Well done, Amina. Let's have our next speaker, Tanshulpan. Hi, Tanshulpan.
Hi, Luke. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Okay, and where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining the session from Malaysia, from Kuala Lumpur.
And what do you do in Kuala Lumpur?
I'm actually a full-time marketeer at the university. It's a local university. I do student recruitment and marketing for international students.
Okay, fantastic. And right, Tanshulpan, how do you feel about your speaking?
I feel a bit nervous at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But in general, I'm quite confident.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. Well, it's good to feel a bit nervous because in our tests we are obviously a little bit nervous, and yes. we do only have four people listening in at the moment, so not too much pressure.
Okay.
All right, and for the people joining us, for our 4 viewers, thank you so much for coming along. This is our first session. Really appreciate you guys finding the time to join us. If you have any questions or any comments, you can always post in the comments box as well. Okay, Tanshulpan, so let's get started. Let's talk about where you're living. What kind of home do you live in at the moment?
Okay, I'm living in the very big city. It's a metropolitan city, Kuala Lumpur. The place where I'm living, even though it's quite crowded, but the place is quite comfortable and surrounded by greenery, and also it's a very peaceful place in the center of Kuala Lumpur. I'm renting an apartment here, basically.
What do you like about your local neighborhood?
I really enjoy the convenience of my neighborhood, the connecting train, the stores, pharmaceutical shops, restaurants, and 24/7 security, and also all the other facilities such as swimming pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you dislike about your neighborhood?
The only thing that I dislike is the crowd, the noise of the bikes. When they ride, they make sound. That's the only thing that actually it disturbs me.
Do you think you'll move in the future?
Definitely, I am planning to move, not only from my home, but overall from this country where I'm currently located at.
So let's talk about gifts. On what occasions do people give gifts in your culture?
We don't have any occasion to give gifts. We give gifts every time we meet people, every time we visit each other. But if you look at the biggest occasions when we give gifts is the birthdays, weddings, all the celebrations that we do on a regular basis.
Do you think gifts have to be expensive?
Not necessarily. It's the intention that matters, with what intention you are giving. And if you know that person is, for example, interested in books, if you buy books for that person, that he will really appreciate it. So what matters is the knowing what person could like, actually.
Okay. Have you ever made a gift by hand?
I can't really recall any occasion that I have done anything by hand, but I usually buy the gifts and wrap it by myself. That is considered like also by hand.
Now let's talk about fishing. Is fishing a popular hobby in your country?
Yes, it is. It is quite popular due to availability of the lakes, rivers, all around the country. People find it as their weekend hobby, weekend activity to go out with their family. The fishing is very popular.
Did you ever go fishing when you were a child?
Yes, I remember going out for fishing many times with my brother, with my father, even with my friends. Fishing is part of our culture and people's outside activity.
Are there any popular places to fish where you live? Oh, sorry, I think we've just done that. What kind of fish do you like to eat?
The type of fish I like is salmon. But salmon isn't available in my country. In general, I find the fish quite healthier option, especially the salmon fish. And I really want to go to USA to do the fishing for salmon, basically.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Well done, Tan Shilpan. Just above 4 minutes, and we did finish all the questions. If you don't finish all the questions in one of the sets, it's okay. There were a couple of answers that could be a little more developed. But okay, good. What do you think about your speaking?
I think overall I could have done better. Especially in terms of vocabulary, and the lexical, research is a bit low. And also maybe my answers are a bit shorter, I would say, than required. Because I finished before you asked the next question or before you stopped me.
Okay, so yeah, but if I'm trying to get the full-time I will put my hands up. People asking, we are not giving out band scores today. It's not a full test, and we don't want to, mislead anybody, because the speaking part 3s, obviously, all of this fluency and stuff can drop quite a lot. Okay, so we're not giving out band scores but we are going to give some feedback. So really good, Tanshul Pam. Well done. Fluency is wonderful. You do keep going. A couple of points could be a bit more developed, but you are meeting the 4 minutes. I don't have to stop you, but you shouldn't aim to be stopped. Very nice, natural answers. Again, you've got a couple of things with pronunciation. They're not major issues, and I think it's quite common for lots of people when they're speaking. You need to get that tongue forward a bit more. Yeah. So, for example, other, you say other.
Ah, yeah, that's the Central Asian pronunciation.
Yeah. Just try for me one time. Other.
Other.
There we go. So
but
when you focus,
even for thank you, I learned it again because I used to say thank you.
Yeah. So you do have a couple of points there. Just noticing that. A couple of things so your grammar is good, but there are some things that we notice. For example, you talk about the fishing. The fishing, just fishing. No the. Okay.
Okay.
Also, you said we were going out for fishing. Going out for fishing.
We used to go out for fishing.
Or just we used to go fishing. We used to go fishing. Not go out for, just go fishing. Yeah. In terms of Lexis, there was some really good variety talking about your neighborhood. Something a bit unusual, pharmaceutical stores. Pharmacies, yeah. But some really, really good vocabulary there, talking about, for example, 24/7 security. 24/7 security, really nice native phrase, talking about connecting trains. So yeah, absolutely some quite good vocabulary there.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for joining us, Tanshul Pan, and finding the time to come along. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much for inviting and arranging this session.
It's my pleasure, and hopefully we will be having more, and you would be welcome back in the future.
I'll be looking forward.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Tanshul Pan. Okay. So Tanshul Pan is off our stream. So brilliant. Bit higher level there, but a very, very strong part 1. The fluency was very strong and a good range of vocabulary. And nice, a couple of pronunciation things there, and the grammar wasn't perfect but was very good. So just be aware that when I'm telling people there were some things with your grammar, these things might be quite small. Okay, so well done to Tanshul Pan. And our final speaker joining us today is Christine. Hi, Christine.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm kind of nervous. It's weird. I'm literally shaking.
Okay, well, you will be nervous in your test, so great practice for that. Christine, where do you live at the moment? Where are you in the world?
At the moment, I am actually in Canada. I live in the city of Calgary.
Okay. And what do you do in Canada?
So I am currently working for 2 employers. I work for the hospital as a food service, working for food service department, and the other one I'm working as a barista.
Okay. And Christine, some of our listeners may be wondering, are you a native speaker?
A lot of people ask me that. I get that a lot. So I'm not a native speaker, but I all my life I've been speaking in English a lot. Maybe that's why I kind of sound good.
And where are you originally from?
So I come from the Philippines, and I just recently moved here, like approximately 2 years ago in Canada.
Okay, brilliant. Right, Christine, so let's get started.
For sure.
So Christine, let's talk about where you are living. What kind of home do you live in at the moment?
So Right now, I actually live on my own. I rent in a small room in a basement suite with a Filipino household. Um, I like living here because it's very close to most of the facilities.
What do you like about your local neighborhood?
What I like about my local neighborhood the most is that I am close to the basic facilities that every person needs, like the gym, the hospital. Literally, I'm like 1 block away from where I work. Also, I'm close to the supermarkets and recreational facilities.
Is there anything you dislike about the neighborhood?
Maybe the thing I don't like about our neighborhood is because I am located in the deep south of the city, literally at the edge of the city. And I don't like it because I'm very far from the city center. It's that I'm very far from the malls, or like every time there are festivals, I'd have to do transit like for around 2 hours. And there's also limited access to the transportation itself.
Do you think you'll move in the future?
At the moment, I don't think so, but I've always been considering the fact that I might move to a bigger city in the future because I'm just here due to my family. I might like maybe move to New York to do my med school education processing.
Okay, let's talk about gifts. On what occasions do people give gifts in your culture?
In my culture, we like giving gifts, but what I've observed here in here in Canada is that gift giving is more of just giving things out of your desire, or like it's more like a tradition. It's like when you go to a birthday party and you don't have a gift, it's like awkward. And it's for the Filipinos though, we give gifts more like if we really want to like show how much we love each other. I feel like that's the huge difference. In Canada, it's sorry.
What are the most common gifts to give others in your country?
In my country, which is from the Philippines, where I belong, a lot of people would just like buy something that is like easy to find in the supermarket or like in this from the mall. But I'm the type of person who really likes to think about something that I want to give.
Do you think gifts have to be expensive?
I don't think so. It's not with the price. It's more about the thought itself. When I buy gifts for my friends, I usually make sure that it is like handmade or something that is coming from the heart, or it has something to do with like how much we bond. Like I want to give something that is like, if there's like a inside joke about the gifts.
Have you ever made a gift by hand?
Oh yeah, sorry. As I've said a while ago, that I'm the type of person who really wants to do something more special for that person. I remember giving my best friend a scrapbook, and I compiled like different photographs.
Now let's talk about fishing. Is fishing a popular hobby in your country?
In the Philippines, fishing is not very popular, to my knowledge. However, here in Canada, I know a lot of people who actually like going fishing.
Okay. Did you ever go fishing when you were a child?
Off the top of my head, I think I've done it once, or I think I went with a family who tried to do fishing, but I didn't really exactly fish myself.
Are there any popular places to fish where you live?
Here in Calgary, so we don't actually have lots of bodies of water, but I know that people will drive for around 2 hours and will go to the nearest town, which is like in Banff or Kananaskis, and they would go there because they have several lakes and people go to fish there.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Christine.
Okay.
So just about 5 minutes. Really, really good. Notice we didn't do the last question there. The last topic doesn't have to be finished, but it does have to be started, and the examiner will definitely want to get at least 2 questions out of that. Okay, so you don't have to finish the final topic. Some examiners like to. It depends on the individual. Okay, but they will definitely make sure they start it. So well done, Christine. What do you think about your speaking?
I could have done better. I've never thought of these. I mean, I've thought of these questions, but not like how to answer them strategically.
So obviously quite high level there. What do you think? What do you think you need to improve?
More practice.
More practice. Yeah. Okay. There was one, remember, fluency and coherence. So those 2 things are measured together. There was one point where it starts to drop a little bit.
Yeah.
You were looking, I think the word you were looking for was sentimental value. Talking about gifts.
Yeah.
So as the listener, I could tell that she was trying to find a word. Coherence dropped very, very slightly. It's not a huge issue at all. You rent in a small room.
Yeah. I'm renting. I rent.
I rent or I'm renting a small room. No, in. Yeah. So.
Right. I rent a small room.
Yeah, overuse of preposition, but again, really, really minor. Talking about the deep south of the city, great vocabulary. Christine mentioned that she gave somebody a scrapbook where she compiled some photos. The use of the verb there, compiled, really, really high level vocabulary and a bit unusual, so that is really good. Off the top of my head, I've never been fishing. You went with a family? You went fishing with a family?
Is that wrong?
Okay, you mean a family, not a family member?
No, like a whole family, like a family friend.
Okay,
like whole family.
It works. I just wanted to double check the meaning. You probably wouldn't get marked down for that, but I just was curious to see whether you dropped a word there.
Yeah.
Okay, and other than that, yeah, really, really quite good. My country, which is from the Philippines.
Which is where I'm from.
My country, which is the Philippines. Yeah. So again, another over-included preposition, but these errors are quite minor. Fantastic. Well done, Christine.
All right. Also another question. Like I'm doing hand gestures. I don't know, to help explain. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's fine.
I consciously do it.
Yeah. It's a natural part of communication to use body language. Obviously, you are not scored on body language, but it can, it can make the conversation feel a bit more natural, which is always good. All right. So well done, Christine. I'm going to take you off the stream. Okay. Thank you for making the time to come and join us very early in the morning. You're welcome. So that is all that we've got time for today. Thank you so much to Amina, Tanshulpan and Christine, 3 brilliant speakers, all quite different levels and very different backgrounds. Everybody did brilliantly today. And as they will have noticed, knowing that they're being live streamed probably made them feel a little bit more nervous. And that's good because feeling nervous, well, you will feel nervous in your tests. So for the people who have joined us and come and listened in, thank you so much for taking the time to come and listen. I hope it has been helpful for you as well. And feel free to comment. What do you think about our speakers? What have they done well? What have they done badly? One piece of advice for people practicing their English: when you record yourself and listen back, don't compare yourself to Christine. She is very high level. think of it rather than a level thing, you know, a level comparison, think of it more like an objective or goal. Okay, so brilliant. Well done to all of our speakers, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us. If you haven't been there before, you have our website and our Facebook page on the screen there, so feel free to come along, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.